know how I'm gonna make the intro to this video. Like, I'm gonna do so much cool shit. Like, I'm gonna go over how I changed myself over 2 months, but I just generally don't know how to start the video. It's kind of crazy, man. What's that behind me? Oh, what the hell? What you guys doing over there, man? Welcome to the video. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about how in the span of 2 months, I changed my whole body. I lifted weekly. No, okay. In the span of 2 months, how I fully transformed my body, my mind, my mental, and how I can help you guys do the same thing. Let's get straight to it. But before we get into the video, I'm gonna tell you guys just some of the basic things I tracked, how I track them, and why they're kind of important. And then throughout the video, I'm gonna dive deep into the little sections. If you guys just wanna see one of those sections, just go in the description. I have a little timeline. Just click on it, pretty straight up. So what I first did was I got a smart scale so I could track my body weight, my protein intake, muscle mass, bone mass, BMI, all the cool little, variables that people care about. Another thing I did was I tracked everything I did in the gym. So I tracked my leg day, my chest, my back day, as well as all my, in between kind of lifts. So I'm able to show you guys how I grew in strength, how I grew in size, how I felt because I put little notes. I'm also able to show you guys exactly every single thing I ate. Now, me personally, carbs, fats, all the cool stuff, I mainly only really care about calories and protein. My goal was to keep my calories a little low, so a little bit in a deficit, so I would lose weight. I don't want to lose a drastic amount of weight because that's unrealistic and it's unhealthy. My goal was to lose about a pound every single week. Now, it wasn't perfect, right? I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that everything needs to be perfect. I think that the way you create goals and the best goals that you can create are realistic goals that you know you're gonna upkeep. If you want to lose weight and you like eating, let's say for example, you like eating cake or cookies or something like that, which I did. I noticed beforehand I was eating a lot of Oreos, Oreos and milk like after I lifted. What I decided to do was just make healthier options so I can still enjoy sweets, but I'm not taking away, 500 calories with like 5 Oreos. Obviously not realistic, but you get the point. You want to keep it realistic because you're gonna keep a realistic goal. If you're doing something that you don't enjoy, it's more easier for you to give out on it or just kind of quit. So that's gonna be the first thing we're gonna dive into. So getting straight into it, I'm gonna be showing you guys basically how I tracked all my food from day one to basically today. I didn't use any fancy app. Like I was kind of saying before, there's a ton of cool applications you can do. There's even like AI, where you can just take a picture of your food. I tried it. I wasn't too comfortable with them. And one of the things I believe is that you're gonna stick to what's comfortable. So what I knew, I had tried it like 2 years prior, was tracking all my food on the Notes app. So literally, I'll show you guys, literally just going straight to your Notes app. I do it on my phone. Now I'm kind of recording my phone, so I can't show you. But just go straight to your Notes app. I track. Elise is calling me. This can be pretty cool. So I can't answer this sadly. So we start from day one, right? Obviously, day to day, the meals kind of blur together. So I'm eating eggs, protein shake, rice with chicken, tuna. Those are going to be like 4 staples that you guys are going to see pretty concurring. And then I'm tracking my total. So my total calories, my total protein for each day. So I'm doing that every single day. I'm also tracking in the same document my lifts. So you're going to be able to see more of those. That's going to be the next session kind of coming over. But what did I want to do? I wanted to eat meals that were pretty good on calories and gave me a good amount of protein. I mainly wanted to keep my calories at about 2,000 or a little bit under. You're going to see some days where it's under, some days where it's higher. My main goal is just to kind of average out at about there, right? That's just because I feel like my daily amount was around there. I wasn't too sure. I know there's online, websites you can use to see how much you actually intake every single day. I didn't do it. I just kind of guessed and checked. And I was able to see that that was correct because after a week or two, I saw some of my weight coming down. So I knew that I was deficiting a little bit. Now, I didn't do cardio. Cardio would have probably made my weight go a little bit lower pretty quickly. The cardio also makes you more hungry. So I don't know. I didn't do it consistently. I did it about once a week, mainly just playing basketball, doing something fun. A big thing you're going to see concurring, have fun. Have fun with your plans. Otherwise, it's not going to fucking stick. You don't have fun doing things you don't like. It's kind of straight up. And then also, I still was able to eat out on the occasion. Now, obviously, it's not daily. It's once in a while. And I made sure I kept it in my plan. So you'll see, for example, day 2, I had a double chicken burrito from Sheetz. I think this is with one of my friends. We ate out that night. My calories was around 2100, but I had about 170 grams of protein. It's not exact. 5 less calories, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. The benefit of the Notes app, especially when you're using and tracking for a certain amount of time, you're able to just kind of guess and check how many calories you're doing. On some days you'll see, like at the start of the challenge, obviously you'll see the screen recording, it's a lot more colorful, it looks nicer. It's for my own personal benefit, so I can kind of see it more clearly. But towards the end of the challenge, it gets a lot more messier. There's not as many colors because I know what I need. It's confirming to what I need. I was able to use it. On some days I didn't even add up the total. I just put what I ate, like 300 grams of rice and chicken, 4 eggs, XYZ. Now I kind of know a guess and check around of how many calories it's gonna be. 1 egg is about 70 calories, 6 grams of protein. So if I had 4 eggs, it's gonna be 24 grams of protein and about 280 calories. So I just know that. I don't necessarily need to search up because I've eaten it a lot. I was able to track the foods that I eat so many times that I just kind of know what I'm eating. So it's easy to kind of stick on your plan, right? And then you'll see on some days, like it's not going to be perfect. Some days I only had like 2 meals because maybe I slept pretty late. Throughout this challenge as well, and I know this is pretty late in the video, for about 2 months of this, I was working 80 hours a week. Throughout most of the challenge until literally like just this month, I was working minimum 60 hours a week. Now, what does that mean? It means sometimes it was a little harder for me to get in the gym. It also means that my eating habits are a little weird just because I don't sleep normal sleep schedules, So I just kind of worked with what I could work with. Now, what does that mean? That means if I'm eating maybe only 1,000 one day, the next day I'll try to eat around 25 up to 3,000. I try to average out the numbers because your body, off topic, but your body doesn't necessarily know what Monday to Sunday is. It just knows like a general cycle of when you're going to sleep, when you're waking up. Right? It's pretty basic. So you don't need exactly Monday 12 o'clock to Tuesday 12 a.m. right? It doesn't, or you get my point. It doesn't need to be exactly like that. As long as you're getting around 24 hours, I would say it's pretty cool. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Do what works because it's gonna fucking work, right? So yeah, that just kind of shows. Now I did the math, so you guys obviously don't have to. And I did this by hand. I didn't use AI this time, right? So on average, I tracked about 58 days. So I had about 58 days across from October 10th to December 10th. Now I didn't include Thanksgiving, the day of Thanksgiving, the day after, because I slept like 18 hours or something like that. And I didn't eat very well. So I was just kind of having fun. But my average calorie intake throughout the challenge was 1,800 calories and about 161 grams of protein. Now, what does that mean? I stayed below the 2,000 that I wanted on the daily, which means I was on a deficit, right? And generally for protein, you want to have about a pound of, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. At the start of the challenge, I weighed around 155 or 153. You'll see in a second. So I knew I wanted at least around 150 grams. That was my general rule of thumb throughout the whole challenge. Now I lost weight, but I'm still keeping that general rule of thumb. So I hit 160 grams per average across the challenge, which means I hit my protein goals. I also hit my calorie goals. Now next, what I'm gonna show you guys is gonna be diving a little bit deeper into the Smart Tracker, the weight scale, so you guys can kind of see across the time period how all my numbers kind of changed. Let's get straight to it. All right, we're back. So I basically decided to make a little slideshow for you guys, a little Google slideshow, which I haven't done in a minute, but it's pretty cool, just to show you guys like the lift progression and then some of the other cool stuff. So let's get straight to it. So first, oh, what the hell is this? Oh shit, my fault, y'all. That wasn't supposed to be there. What the hell? All right, sweet. Now this is gonna be the Smart Scale. Basically, like I was telling you guys, once every 2 weeks I track my progress. This is going to be on the left is my very first weigh-in, and on the right is my last weigh-in. So I generally try to do my weigh-ins in the morning after I would use the restroom, because that's generally when you get the more accurate results. So I initially weighed in at about 153 pounds. My BMI was around 25. Body fat is around 16.8. All the other cool little stuff, muscle mass, protein, metabolic age. Now, again, this is not an MRI. This is a smart scale that I just step on. these numbers are estimates. They're not going to be exact. They're not going to be perfect. An MRI costs like $2,000 an hour just to like rent. I'm not doing that. I'm broke. You feel me? But this just does give you still like an accurate representation of a general idea of the numbers that you need, right? So my goal at the beginning was to lose a few pounds. I didn't have an exact weight goal, but I just kind of wanted to slim down a little bit more, see a little bit more, vascularity in my forearms, my legs, just kind of get my body looking a little bit better. And it fucking worked. Numbers don't lie, right? So my weigh-in this morning was just about 147 pounds, which means we lost about 6 pounds, right? This is over 2 months, so it's about a pound a week, probably around like 0.8, but it's about a pound a week, which is a healthy amount. I did cardio only once a week. If I upped my cardio like daily, like 45 minutes of stair stepper, probably would have been a little bit more. But again, I did what I found was comfortable. This was comfortable for me. My BMI was about 23.6, so it went down a little bit, which is pretty cool. My body fat went down to 50%. Now again, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but I do see a ton more vascularity, like in my forearms. I see a lot more definition as well, and I look slimmer. I feel slimmer, right? Not gonna, like, numbers don't lie again, so it does check out. The numbers do kind of check out. We see fat-free body weight. My fat-free body weight percentage went down. Some of the fat went up, some went down. My visceral fat, I'm not a professor, I don't know what that means, but now it's excellent. It used to be standard. Fat is healthy, by the way. You need fat. You don't want too much of it, but it's cool. Muscle mass went down. Now my general weight went down. Doesn't mean I didn't lose like 3 pounds of muscle over 2 months. It's not, you see what I'm saying? It's not super accurate. An MRI would be more accurate. My protein percentage goes up. My metabolic age is actually 20, which is pretty cool. I don't know what they use. I think they're just using like the average age of a 20-year-old statistics, and apparently my numbers, I guess, match that. I am 21 years old, so I guess I just lost a year. My birthday's coming up soon. I'll be turning 21. No, I'm just playing. But this is pretty cool. These are cool numbers to look at. So we did lose weight. We wanted a deficit. We lost weight. So numbers check out. Now let's look at some of the strength benefits I did, like some of the strength numbers. So mainly, the 3 main movements I would say is going to be bench, deadlift, squat, right? Chest, legs, back. I basically just did a PPL split. I normally before just did like a bro split because I was in the gym like 6 days a week. Now with this PPL split, at the beginning, I was in the gym like OD, like 6 days a week still. So it was pretty good. My recovery felt amazing. I hopped on my creatine. I made sure my creatine was on point. I made sure all my food was on point. I made sure I got sleep. So my recovery felt good. So I was in the gym 6 times a week. So I was hitting everything twice a week. Now for most of my body movements, everything's here. I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I'm just going to kind of hit the surface. But I mainly did about 2 to 3 working sets of heavy working sets. And my goal for every single week was to make sure my numbers are improving. Now, it doesn't always mean weight. Obviously, progressive overload, you want your weight to go up, but that can also mean reps. I want my reps to go up. So maybe I hit 315 for 3. Next week, I want to try to go for 4. Try to go for 5. I'm going to progressive overload so I can get stronger. And the numbers are right here. Statistically shows, numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. It shows I improved. So let's go to the bench. So the bench press, Planet Fitness did implement benches the first week of me doing this challenge. So it honestly pretty good timing. So I hadn't benched in a minute, so I was a little uncomfortable trying to get used to, my form. I hit 165 for 5. That was there. So the form fell off. I know I hit it for 3, but I think I had okay, never mind. My form is ass. I hit it for 5. Hit 165 for 5. So that was pretty good. So that's a heavy 5. Now I put notes, so you can see the small notes. I also tracked all my other accessories, and then just my chest the other day. Let's see what I did. I hit 185 for 3. Now I was wearing a beanie. I had a beanie on, and every time I was pressing like these, my head would like slip because of the beanie, and I thought I was like tweaking, but I took the beanie off from my last set, and I saw like a huge difference in my form. My form felt like really good because since the beanie would slip, I would kind of go out of form. And my spotter had mentioned it to me. He was like, dude, I don't know, something looks weird. And it was the beanie. So I do think this first set I could have gone it for 5 because I felt really strong. But I just was out of form and it felt uncomfortable. So I think I could have gone it for 5. So that's a huge increase. In just 2 months, almost 20 pounds to the bench. 20 pounds to the bench. Now the PR is my PRs haven't changed too much. Just because I haven't really gone for a PR like that recently. But, you know, I'll put like a little clip of video of one of my later bench sessions. But this is improvement, right? We're seeing improvement. Now, what did I do to improve it? I made sure I was in the gym twice a week hitting bench. I made sure I ate. I made sure I recovered. Straight up. Now let's go to this is back. So deadlifts. I was doing deadlifts. At the start, my max was 365 for one, just barely about one. No belt straps. Felt pretty good, right? Did 315 for 8 or 9. Now, you guys just saw the video, the deadlifting video. I tried to go for 405. 405 almost went up. It was like halfway. That's a 40-pound jump, right? 365 was an easy one. I'll put like a little video here. This 365, I struggled. I barely got it up. I was like me pushing my limits. And then the 365 just the other week was very smooth. It went up super easy, right? So that's also going to be showing improvement in the back. Now, another thing I want to see, I didn't do lat pull downs on this day because this was just a PR day. My lat pull downs here was 120 for about 8 plus some partials. And right now, my last bench session, I just did 130 for 12. So I'm about to start pushing a 140. I did 140, I think the week prior, but I only got it for 6. So last week I just wanted to focus on the form, right? So that also shows improvement in all the other ones as well. You see here as well, bicep dumbbell curls. I was only doing the 30s for about 5 reps. My last session, I just did the 40s for 5 reps. Improvement, pretty straight up. And then leg day, I think leg day was one of the biggest improvements. My big thing now is still kind of stability in my form. But I was, where is it? 225 for 8. Felt unstable, almost fell. Having issues with the walkout. So I'm putting notes so my next session I can kind of see what I needed to work on. Or 225 for 10. Super smooth, right? I didn't go too heavy. I kind of stayed with 225 the first few weeks of squatting because I wanted to feel comfortable. Now my last leg day, I did mess up my hip a little bit. So the last leg day was 1129. So it's been about a week and a half almost. So I haven't been squatting too heavy. But I went for 335 for 2. And it was a pretty good 2. I just messed up on the third one. I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up the bail. I have notes here, right? But I had 275 for 6, 315 for 5. So that's huge improvement, right? 100 pounds improvement. Now, I think I had the strength here. But, you know, overall, my leg strength did still, you know, improve a ton. Leg extensions here, I was doing 200 for 12. Now, on this day, my hip hurt, so I did single leg extensions. But I was doing 240 for about 20 reps. And the machine's maxed out, so I started doing for singles, right? So that's a huge improvement. Almost double the amount of reps plus a 40 pounds. So everything is improving. And because I'm putting notes and I'm tracking, I'm able to see that progression, which is super important because you're already going to be in the gym, right? So you want to make sure you're pushing everything to the limit. Obviously, I don't mean kill yourself, right? Don't do steroids, don't do nothing too crazy. But make sure you're, you know, helping yourself out. Get your sleep, get your food, get your macros, and track it. Because numbers don't lie. It's very easy to forget the bigger picture once you're just in the gym and, you know, in a pattern. I was lifting for curls to 30 pounds for like a year. I probably had the strength for more. I just never did it because I wasn't thinking about progressive overloading. I was just lifting the weight because the weight felt good. But once you progressive overload, you force the muscle to react. You force the muscle to grow. This is literal statistical proof. Again, numbers don't lie. Now, before I go, oh snap, I'm kind of short. Now, before I go, I just want to say thank you everyone for tuning in for the video. Like I said, the main goal for, you know, this video was to just kind of show you guys how I personally helped myself over the 2 months, you know, tracking my lifts, tracking my food, weighing myself so I can see all my benefits. So do the same thing, right? I mean, you're already in the gym, you're already tracking yourself, you already want to make yourself better. Like just start doing it, right? It's only going to help you. It's pretty cool. If you guys have any questions on how to track, maybe want some more in-depth on to how I did it, I can go into more detail. Shoot a comment in the description. I'm more than willing to help. And you know, finally, I just want to say thank you for everyone for the, you know, for the love. Everyone's been showing a ton of support. Working my ass off, trying to make this shit work. So let's keep doing it. Shout out to my boy Elias. Shout out to my boys Jayon. Shout out to Christian, Josh, Billy, Aiden, you know, all my dogs who showed up to, you know, play basketball, who showed up in the gym, who showed up just in real life. I want to appreciate all you guys. especially everyone on Instagram who's been like, motivating me a ton. Shout out Amin for the 50 sub. Shout out all my dogs. Shout out Rans for reposting my shit on Instagram. I really appreciate it. This video is getting too long, so I'm gonna cut it. But thank you, everyone. If you want to see more content like this, let me know. Let's get straight to it.